as that rain was coming down with the hail. We were thinking it's probably in that pea to maybe a little bit of dime size. It was mainly pea size, but looking at the ground, we saw some stones that were a bit bigger than that. But it certainly sounded really bad because of how much hail was coming down. We've also seen a ton of lightning with this. We've seen, as you mentioned, Noah, that area on I-95, we were heading southbound at that time, but we can only think lightning was the cause of that, a pretty solid brush fire. As we were driving farther south, we smelled some more smoke, and we just saw a few strikes come down within about a minute of you tossing over to us. So I can only imagine that we could witness some more fire activity just because of how much lightning we've seen in these storms. But it has been gusty, it has been nasty. The only positive, Noah, is that we're getting a lot of rain out of this, which we certainly sorely need.
Yeah, TJ, you've been through your fair thunderstorms, I'm sure, and I'm going to pot up your location with the radar here so people can see. You're a little bit south of where it looks like the strongest area is, but by your estimation, you'd say that hail before hitting you was about how big?
I would say it was mainly pea-sized, but I think there were certainly some dime-sized stones in there. It was kind of tough to see, Noah, because of how hard the rain was coming down. We were just off an exit ramp where we pulled over, and there were tons of cars pulled over, which was good to see. But it sounded, we took a couple of videos, and it sounded really loud. I think the hail was actually breaking up as it was hitting the thunder truck. But looking down at the ground, I would say there were certainly some hailstones that were larger than pea size, possibly getting up to that dime size. There could have even been larger stones. We pulled over a couple of different times in that about 5-minute to 10-minute span or so. We actually saw a couple of cars off, or at least one car. I think there might have been another car off in a ditch. He may have just been pulled over waiting, but it looked like there was one car off in a ditch when the rain was at its heaviest and the hail was at its heaviest as well. Thankfully, right now, we're not seeing any hail, but I'm sure you can hear the rain. It's certainly coming down really heavy as we're heading back into the heart of this severe thunderstorm.
TJ, you said there was a lot of people pulled over earlier. Is that what you saw when that got pretty bad?
Yeah, we saw a lot of people, a lot of cars. I mean, we were talking about that, myself and Mike, and I know we've all seen a lot of heavy rain in our time, but that was probably some of the heaviest rain that I've ever seen in my career. I've driven through some heavy rain, but I mean, we literally couldn't see. And now you can see the rain's picking up again, and people are starting to slow down here on I-95. I wouldn't be shocked as we get a little bit farther up into this thing if we see some more people pulling over. But this actually, I mean, this is heavy, but this was nothing like what it was just a little bit ago, at least where we were in that storm.
Now, TJ, while you're still on camera there, we'll keep your feet up on the air here. Your colleague there sitting to your left, Mike, has been through, as you said, a lot of weather. I was curious, his opinion, if you asked him, because he's taking a lot of wind to that truck, moving it. How about how strong the wind felt? Was it really that strong, or not too bad?
When we were talking about it, I mean, I would think that gust could have easily been 60 miles per hour or more. Noah's asking you, Mike, about how bad you think the wind was when we were driving down and felt those gusts. Yeah, he's not. He's thinking about 60. I mean, you know how big this truck is. It gave us a little shove, that's for sure. And I know we felt it a couple different times. Looking at some of the trees here outside the truck, right now it's not looking like it's too terribly gusty, but you can definitely see the palm fronds blowing in the breeze. I'm sure we're still getting some gusts at least under those severe thresholds, maybe in that 40 mile per hour range or so.
Yeah, TJ, we're going to take my my feed here at the wall full and keep you on with me. I want to show people the video we got. I just put it into our system with you at the Thunder Truck. So if we could take this full here. TJ, I'm showing people the video of you guys driving. I'm just curious, while we watch this video, have you seen a tree on? I've never seen a tree on fire like that from lightning before. It's pretty wild that it was raining and it was on fire.
I know, that was Mike was actually the one that caught it. We were driving, he could see the smoke, and as soon as we got closer, we started to see kind of the illumination. But I've never seen something like that before. And then as we drove further away, or got farther away, excuse me, we could smell it. So I'm not sure if there was another brush fire that could have gotten ignited, Noah, and the way the wind was blowing, but that was pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, we're just coming up. We're about to see it. Well, we're just watching back the video. It's a little long to see you guys coming up on it. But, yeah, you know, this area has been in pretty bad drought, but it's remarkable to me that the fire was like that. It probably could have been started while it was raining, even, lightly raining. We're just seeing it go by. I've never seen anything like this.
No, me either. I mean, that's the wild thing, to have a fire obviously ongoing, like you said, as it's raining, but it had to be a solid strike, and I just couldn't believe that we were smelling it the farther we got down 995. And again, that could have been from another one, but we did see some emergency crews heading in that direction as we got back on 995 southbound, as we were heading closer to Indian River County, through the latter bit of that warning, so to speak, or southern half of that warning. But thankfully, as we've been driving, we haven't seen any more fires like that. That was just crazy.
TJ, we appreciate you joining us for a second. I'll come back to you here in a few minutes. I'm going to track this storm out a little bit further, but appreciate you joining us from the storm tracking unit that is the Thunder Truck.
Thanks, Noah. I'm glad to be with you as well. Hopefully we're done with the worst of it. As you said, I think we are.
And we'll track that rain for you further. Now we'll show you where that storm is. So this is a loop over the last 45 minutes. And really interesting storm that this has been, because there was a storm here and a storm here, and they collided and they started spinning briefly. I actually was pretty surprised we didn't get a tornado warning. That's good news. I'll turn off the lightning so you can see. Zoom this out. Watch how we had a storm up here. It's pretty wild. You look right here. This is back at 7 o'clock. You see this storm up here, and there was a storm down here. This one moved this way, this one moved that way, and they collided. It was pretty wild. You can see even a little bit of that twisting right here as they combined at about 7:15, 7:20. Now on the velocity data, I'll turn off the polygon so you can see. Green is wind towards the radar, red is away. And I want you to notice here, watch what happened. I'll let this play. You can literally see the spin, and then watch, boom, right there. I'll let this play again so you can watch. Oftentimes we see this. We actually do get a tornado. This was a fortunate instance. It should play one more time here. This is that first storm. You see the spin, then right there, boom. That's actually what's called a downburst, which this is a pretty wild meteorological sequence here, because right here you can clearly see, this is back at 7:07. You can see this twisting right here. The storm was definitely rotating at that point. And then as we got forward in time, I want you to notice right here, boom. It's like, I want you to imagine taking a water balloon and throwing it at the ground, and the water goes out in all directions. But that's what a downburst is with a thunderstorm and weather in nature, just with air. Water balloon dropped here. It's the thunderstorm collapsing. It gets thrown at the ground, and the wind diverges in both directions, because remember, green is wind towards the radar and red is away. So in this case, the wind is blowing like that and like that, and you can see how that grew right there, the wind going apart. So probably was some very intense wind that occurred right there in a very localized area. That was back about 7:18. Here's the live radar, this is also bizarre, because you've got essentially wind. Remember I said green towards the radar, so you've got wind here blowing like this, south to north, wind out here blowing like that, and wind right here blowing like this. It's actually quite the tease for summer thunderstorms, and there's a lot going on here, but none of that right now is actual rotation, so that's good news for sure. But just a tremendous amount of lightning with this storm. You see here the lightning tracker over the last few minutes is about 400 plus bolts of lightning. The good news for the rest of Central Florida, I'll bring you back. Remember, we're streaming on Fox Local, our YouTube channel, and our Facebook page. Thank you to those of you who are on all of those platforms. Appreciate you watching. I'm going to pull up the Facebook and the YouTube so I can see if there's any comments or questions from our Facebook and our YouTube. We appreciate those of you all watching there, and also those of you on our Fox Local platform. Please message us at any time, including myself. We are getting any in Seminole County, says Madeline. No. West of Palm Bay, Michael, yes. Dave, the storm is moving east. Becky, we're in Brevard County. So this was, to be expected, just a Space Coast event. I'll bring you back to the view. We'll do a little reset here. 7:45. Meteorologist Noah Bergren here. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Fox Local. TJ's out in the Thunder Truck. So this is the view of things right now. So in terms of a timeline for the rest of the night, it's really just a timeline and it impacts. It's just this area for the next, sorry about that. It's really just this area for the next 45 minutes where there's a thunderstorm potential. Titusville, Cocoa Beach, Merritt Island, Melbourne, Palm Bay, Mico, Vieira. So for us, outside of this circled area, there's really no threat of anything else for the rest of the night. So in terms of impacts, here for the next hour, we'll say to about 8:45, 9, then that's it. So if you're outside of that circled area, Orlando, Kissimmee, Seminole County, Volusia, Gainesville area, Marion County, Lake Sumter, it's totally dry. It'll stay dry for the rest of the night. The expectation earlier this evening was things would stay on the Space Coast, and that's where they have certainly been. I'll zoom you in up here, closer to the Edgewater area. You do have one teeny shower here, but it's not even producing any lightning. In fact, if you look right here to the west of New Smyrna, this is producing, a little shower here. This thunder shower, former thunder shower, is about 4 miles to the southwest of New Smyrna Beach at this moment. So a little shower there. So in terms of impacts for the rest of the night, it's Brevard through about 8:45. The rest of the area is dry. Nothing else is going to pop up. But back to this thunderstorm here. The core of it is now offshore. We still do have that severe thunderstorm warning. You can see there on the left till 8 o'clock, which is good news. We'll hope that it does not prompt anything else in terms of severe. But I'll zoom in here. We're really close to the radar. Just a tremendous amount of lightning. In terms of the actual wind, let's take a look. Take a look at the updated velocity data here. Good news is I don't see anything in terms of rotation, but there's definitely some strong wind. Let me turn off the lightning here, and I'll show you some queries here of this wind. 45. There's definitely some gusts in here, 50 or so miles an hour. There's definitely some pretty good gusts that are in here. Right now, you can see right here, this is Palm Bay, Mico. So there's been gusts we've recorded of 50 to 60 at least about 30 minutes ago. But for right now, the winds are coming down. In terms of hail, a lot of this hail is now offshore, but right on the beach there, we'll keep an eye on some of this hail you see here in terms of the number, only about a ½ an inch in diameter. Let me loop this product for you so you can see how the hail has trended in the past few minutes. Look earlier where you saw that white, that was definitely hail that was quarter to ping pong ball sized. I have no doubt in this rural part of Brevard County there was some hail in that white earlier that was ping pong ball size. We'll work on seeing if we can get any reports of that for you. But the storm is weakening right now, which is good news. The core is collapsing down to the ground, and we don't expect at this point this to re-intensify, which is some really, really good news. So I'll stop this right now. In fact, this severe thunderstorm warning has now been allowed to expire, but still a tremendous amount of lightning. A summer preview, if you will. Lots of lightning offshore from Melbourne, Palm Bay, Mico. Further to the south, you see there are some storms here by Vero Beach to Fort Pierce, where there's been some big-time hail today. But back, little quick reset, 7:48 of our area. Things are drying on out. We're not expecting anything else for the rest of the night. It's just that storm in Palm Bay and Brevard. In terms of reports today, we did have a couple of decent reports. I'll zoom you in and show you. There was actually a thunderstorm earlier that was not severe warned that did produce a decent severe hail report, an inch diameter of hail in the Apopka area. That was about 4:23 this afternoon. Over here we had some hail about an inch in diameter that was in Maytown, Florida, about 5 o'clock. So right at the top of the hour, some decent hail there. These are official reports. Near Alligator Lake, about a ½ an inch diameter hail. You see this one here, Palm Bay, about an inch diameter hail, about 7:29 p.m. Further to the south, a lot of hail reports here. Stevens Park, you see that there. Paradise Park, all of these about an inch in diameter, 1.8, 2 inches. By the way, that's egg-sized hail. I'll try to get some photos of this for the late news for you all tonight. Anytime you see hail of that size, that's pretty rare hail for Florida standards going forward. Nikki from YouTube says, any storm chances tomorrow? There are, and I believe we are going to wrap this stream at 55. So we've got about 5 more minutes. Thank you guys in the back. So I tell you what, we've got about 5 more minutes. I'll walk you through some maps about tomorrow because some of you are asking about the forecast for tomorrow and rain chances going forward. So Nikki, who asked from YouTube about the storms, I'll show you that in a second. But pretty big hailstorms today. This is the time of year Florida gets hail. 2-inch hail down in Fort Pierce today. That, my friends, is significant. So a quick reset. One last time. Nothing for the rest of the area tonight. The severe storm that was in Brevard has been dropped, and the good news is that the core of this storm is out over here and has now exited onto the ocean surface. So in terms of what our thunder truck is seeing, let me see if they're still out there. This is T.J. Springer, which you'll see where he is right now. He's actually up to the west of Melbourne right there. We'll check back with him in a quick second. I want to show you the forecast maps for tomorrow we've got coming up here, because we do have some more storms coming. But first, for the remainder of tonight, here we are. Notice those storms that are here off the Space Coast. They continue to push away. There could be a shower, I guess, that reforms through about 8, 9 o'clock in Osceola County, but I don't think there'll be much. Here's 10 o'clock, just a partly cloudy sky. And then through the rest of the overnight, things are nice and quiet. Going into tomorrow, we'll have temperatures that start near 70 in most places. Highest tomorrow will be hotter than today. We're into the 90s inland. We're in the mid to high 80s at the beaches, and there will be a few thunder showers tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to be significant tomorrow. I think Wednesday is the day we're going to have a lot better rain chances across central Florida. So I'll show you tomorrow with our Fox model. Here we go. Here's 8 o'clock in the morning. Dry in the morning. Here's 2:30 tomorrow. Some showers. Notice just a handful. Right on orange, Osceola County. Mid-afternoon to the early evening. Going into Wednesday, though, a lot higher rain chances. Look at this in the Fox model. Here's 1:30. Here's 4. They're not massive, but they're decent storms and downpours. This will help our drought. 4 o'clock. Here's 7. One of these could be severe Wednesday evening. You see here right over the airport in the Bithlo area, just south of UCF, 7 o'clock Wednesday. A couple of showers and storms by Cocoa Beach. This is on Wednesday. That ends about this time Wednesday night. And going into Thursday, Nikki, I'll give you one more day here. Partly cloudy, and then again Thursday afternoon, showers and storms that pop and push to the east. So this is a good trend in the forecast that we're going to have some storms that really start to give us some drought relief here over the next couple of days. Another from YouTube. Someone's flying from Heathrow, London, looking at Tuesday's storm chances. Should be fine. I mean, there's always a chance of a brief delay, but I don't think the stuff tomorrow, Tuesday, is enough to really cause any big impact at the airport. So quickly, I want to bring in meteorologist T.J. Springer one more time. T.J., we've got about 2 minutes left. The good news that severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire, but at least for a hot second earlier, it looks like you got a decent summer preview with some large hail and some wind there in the thunder truck as you guys were tracking.
Yeah, Noah. Hey, it was pretty nasty for a time here in the thunder truck. We're on I-95 heading northbound, as you mentioned, not too far from Melbourne. Still looks a little ominous off to the north, but we are dry right now, and things are flowing a lot more smoothly here on I-95 north and southbound compared to just about a half hour ago. Some good news to report. We did drive by the site of the fire. They were able to, I'm not sure if with the help of some crews, get that out. They were kind of inspecting the area, probably trying to see if there were still any hot spots around, but thankfully we drove past that and the fire didn't seem to be burning, at least from where we were on I-95 and from the thunder truck. So it looks like our trek back to the station will be a lot quieter than our drive down I-95 just a little bit ago.
TJ, we appreciate you being out there today, and good news is I think we can both agree severe threat looks done for tonight for us.
Yes, I agree 1,000%. Thankfully, yeah, we got through the first of it, the worst of it, I should say.
First of many more days doing this together this summer, but this is good because we need the rain.
Yes.
TJ, drive back safe.
We're trying to find the silver lining.
We appreciate you. Drive back safe. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.
All right, so that was TJ out the Thunder Truck, and we appreciate you watching here on our Fox Local stream. Remember, that's the streaming app you can put on your phone, your TV, your smart device. Also on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. We appreciate you following us on our social media and YouTube there as well. I'm meteorologist Noah Bergren, and for TJ Springer and the rest of the Storm team, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you more about the weather coming up in the News Edge at 8, and then 10 and 11. Have a good night.